Okay, magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. At heto, pag-usapan natin dalawa kasi yung topic natin ngayon eh. Una nating pag-uusapan ay saan na nga ba si Zaldico? Heto ngayon si John Vic Rimulya nag-a-update kung nasaan na si Zaldico. Ano na ba ang status ni Zaldico? Kasi itong gobyernong Marcos, itong administrasyong Marcos, laging nangangako na pababalikin na dito si Zaldico, huhulihin na nila si Zaldico, pero hanggang ngayon hindi pa naman nahuhuli nila. Puro na lang tayo promise. Budol na talaga yung taong bayan. At sa pangalawang video na ire-react natin, ay heto na naman, nagpapapresko na naman itong si Luistro. Walang sawang presko ni Luistro. Wala namang naniniwala sa mga sinasabi niya. Yan ang ang opinion niya, nagsasalita na siya patungkol sa posibleng mangyari ngayong Lunes sa plenary sa tungkol sa impeachment ni BP Sara at anong posibleng mangyari rin sa Korte Suprema hanggang sa Senado. Okay? Pero mukha yatang stress na si Tita Luistro ninyo. Kasi mukha yatang wala silang numero. Okay? Kung lulusot man yan sa Kongreso, ewan ko na lang kung lulusot ito sa Senado. Pero bago ang lahat guys, paki-like at saka paki-share itong video natin para kakalat ito sa taong bayan at saka mag-subscribe na rin sa mga first time dito sa ating channel. Heto, ano na ba yung update ni Zaldico? Heto po, panuorin po natin si John Vic, pakinggan natin, babanatan natin itong mga kapalpakan nila.
Kami kay Atong Ang and Zaldico in particular. Kasi
latest from
ang
Atong.
alam na, nag-notice ka lang mula ang way for
Yes. Nag-apply kami ng
Alam mo John Vic, wag ka sige puro purma. Tapos yung yung damit niya paulit-ulit.
red notice September 2025.
Wala ka na bang ibang damit, John Vic?
Ang yung Interpol sa France hindi pa gina-grant yung red notice hanggang ngayon. So September complied na kami sa kanya. September 2025 nag-apply na kami. It turns out
Nag-apply na pala kayo last year. Bakit hanggang ngayon hindi pa nyo nakuha si Zaldico? Ano ba? May effort ba kayo? Parang yung ang sabi ng taong bayan parang hindi kayo interesado na mabalik dito si Zaldico. Totohanin nyo na.
iba pala ang batas ng Pilipinas saka sa Interpol.
We.
Kasi doon may political inkling na konti ay di-delay nila.
Hirap sa inyo kasi lagi kayong nagpapamedya pero wala namang progress yung mga promises ninyo. Hinahanap na ng taong bayan si Zaldico pero hanggang ngayon lustay na yung mga mata ng taong bayan sa kakahintay.
Investigate na lang siya ng kanyang sarili. But I'm confident we'll get the red notice and I'm confident we're gonna get
Puro kayo red notice hanggang ngayon wala pa.
Zaldico back here to the Philippines.
The red notice is the only hope we have, Sec, no,
Yes,
for
it's
him
the
to
only
get
hope
it
we have.
back.
Yes. I'm confident makukuha natin yun.
Do you have a timetable? You have
Wala lang. But
Wala silang timetable kasi huhulihin nila yan pagka 2028 na siguro. Yung tapos na yung termino ni BBM.
we are working very hard on that.
Paano po pag umandar na po yung political asylum po ni Zaldico? Mas mahihirapan na po ba tayo? Mawawalan saysay na po ba yung red
Wala
notice?
na, mahihirapan na talaga. Wala silang interesado yung pabalikin dito eh.
Unahin muna natin yung red notice. Kukunin namin siya bago...
Puro kayo red notice.
I'm confident na bago siya
Puro kayo confident. Hanggang ngayon, wala pa.
matapos yung ang asylum application niya, makukuha na natin siya sabi.
Bago mag-grant yung ano po.
Bago matapos. Oo.
Ang tanong, papayag ba si Zaldico? Kasi balita ko ang galing magtago ni Zaldico.
6-month application process kasi yan eh. Sometimes, tumatagal ka. Tulad si Harry Roque, officially this week, tapos na ang kanyang 6
O,
months.
pati si Harry Roque, dinamay nyo sa inyong mga kalokohan dyan. Di ba?
So we will know kung by today kung granted na o hindi. Kung hindi na grant, pwede na siya expel doon kasi wala na siya travel papers eh. At saka yung kaso niya kasi is human trafficking. Kaya iba ang level doon.
Grabe. Human trafficking pa talaga yung kinaso ni Roque. Parang imposible yata yun.
Na ban sa lahat ng mga bansa talaga.
Like, why are we that confident that we will be getting po soon?
We're working very hard. Hindi talaga
We're working very hard. Basta kalaban ng administrasyon, we're gonna work very hard.
hindi ka dyan. Yung nakuha siya sa Czech Republic, agad-agad. Pinadala na yung DOJ, we did all we could. But it doesn't always work to our favor, di ba? But now we see that his world is getting smaller. Palitan ng palitan mundo niya. Eventually, makukuha rin natin yan.
On him, like we know he's
Well, he was in Portugal. Kasi ito yung last itinerary niya eh. Portugal, Italy, France, Prague, tapos pa-enter siya ng Germany nung napikot siya sa border. Ayun yung naging ano niya.
Net 25.
Yes po. Hi, Sir Mads po from Net25. Sir, yun bang political asylum request ni Zaldico sa France? Tingin mo ba malaki yung epekto niya kaya natatagalan tayo sa pag-release ng Red Notice?
Hindi naman. Kaka-apply niya lang last week ng political asylum. So, the Red Notice has been 6 months ago na kami nag-apply eh. But it's not related to the two. Walang kinalaman yan.
Ano kaya, sir, yung nakakapagpatagal?
You have to ask Interpol. I wouldn't know. Hindi ko alam talaga.
Pero hindi siya, sir, napag-usapan yung meeting ni President with the representative of
I was not there, so hindi ko alam ang anong napag-usapan nila.
So, kayo, sa tingin ninyo, naniniwala ba kayo na mapauwi pa si Zaldico dito sa Pilipinas? Kayo, tatanungin ko kayo taong bayan. Kasi ako, ayoko nang maniniwala dito sa administrasyon nito. Kasi ang dami ng mga pinangako nitong administrasyon na ito na hindi naman nagkatotoo. Mantakin nyo, kapag mapauwi si Zaldico dito sa Pilipinas, marami pong ibubulgar, marami pong ibubuking itong si Zaldico na alam naman po natin sangkot po ang presidente, si Martin Romualdez, Liza Marcos at si Sandro Marcos. Isasangkot yan ni Zaldico. O kayo, administrasyong Marcos kayo. Ang tanong, maniniwala ba kayo na pabalikin nila si Zaldico? Si Zaldico may dala-dalang ebidensya. Diba? Mantakin nyo. Bongbong Marcos nag-announce na huli na raw si Zaldico, pero fake news pala. Grabe. Ewan ko na lang. Ito, punta tayo kay Luistro. Tingnan natin itong babaeng ito kung ano yung update niya.
In response muna dun sa mga comments na airtight ang kaso and 99.9% ang conviction, tayo po ever since we're very much conservative, no?
Conservative pa kayo niyan? Sa lagay mong yan? Sa lagay mong yan, conservative pa kayo? Kung ano-ano nang pinapasok ninyo doon, si Trillanes, yung Salen, tapos si Madriaga, tapos conservative pa kayo niyan? Kapal na naman ang mukha nyo?
So I wish to invite the attention of the public to the fact that
Ang atensyon ng publiko, galit sa inyo.
we have never seen the defense evidence, even the slightest.
Kasi hindi kayo makahintay. Kaya nga magbotohan na kayo kasi sasagutin na yan ni VP Sara sa Senado. Wala kayong pakialam dyan.
way. This is for the reason that in the entire proceeding,
Siguro sila, inis na inis sila dito kay VP Sara kasi hindi sila pinatulan ni VP Sara eh. Hindi pumunta si VP Sara sa hearing nila. Di ba?
before the Justice Committee, the defense team never appeared, never availed of the opportunity, and never presented even a single evidence, no? So,
Inis sila.
of course, we have seen the evidence. They're strong enough for the purpose of determination of probable cause. Pero pagdating po sa trial, assuming that the committee report, the finding of probable cause will be affirmed by at least 1/3 of the members of the House, assuming only, pagdating po sa trial, I think it is important to see first the defense evidence, no? We've seen the prosecution's evidence, we've seen the complainant's evidence, but we need to see first the defense evidence for us to be able to assess kumusta ang strength ng evidence for purposes of conviction. Now, with regards to the current proceeding before the House of Representatives, alam po natin lahat na natapos na ang determination of probable cause ng Justice Committee. Na-approve na rin po ng Justice Committee ang committee report along with the resolution setting forth the articles of impeachment. As a matter of fact, we have transmitted already all these documents to the plenary. Now, we are anticipating that this coming Monday, we will be given the opportunity to defend the committee report, no? To defend the findings of probable cause, to defend the articles of impeachment. We will anticipate that there will be debate in as far as our findings of probable cause is concerned. Pwede rin natin i-anticipate the proceeding that we had in the Justice Committee might be questioned by some of the members of the House. But we will be responding to all the questions of the House members. What is important is for the Justice Committee to be able to sponsor, defend this committee report along with the resolution and the articles of impeachment. And after the debate, we can look forward to the plenary vote. The vote will be nominal.
Huwag na kayong magdebate. Magbutuhan na kayo. Pagod na ang taong bayan sa mga drama ninyo.
Ibig sabihin, tatawagin bawat miyembro ng House of Representatives to cast their vote whether the same is yes or no. On the assumption only that we will be able to get at least 1/3 vote of all the members of the House, then this means that the articles of impeachment will be transmitted immediately to the Senate, no? Now, if we fail to get that 1/3 vote, the effect of the same will be automatic dismissal of the impeachment complaint, no? That would be all.
So ano mangyayari sa pag nag-convene na yung plenary sa Monday? Will you read the report or summarize it?
I will be delivering a sponsorship speech which basically describes the proceeding that we had in the Justice Committee. We will be presenting as well in our sponsorship speech the consolidated grounds of impeachment, which is now under one set of articles of impeachment. You will remember that this is originally Saballa complaint, which has 6 grounds, and Cabrera complaint, which has 7 grounds. But upon the motion of Congresswoman Laila de Lima, the Justice Committee decided to consolidate all these grounds. The similar grounds were put under one article only, and now we have one set of articles of impeachment. This is the articles of impeachment set forth by the resolution approved by more than the majority members of the Justice Committee at ito rin po ang nakapaloob dito sa ating committee report. So, in conclusion, the sponsorship speech will deal on the summary of the entire proceeding, the grounds or the articles incorporated under one set of articles of impeachment. We will be discussing as well the evidence that we have established so
Bakit? May ebidensya ba kayo? Wala naman kayong klarong ebidensya?
far, plus our submission that the Justice Committee found probable cause, in which case we will be soliciting the affirmation or the support of the members of the House of Representatives.
Ma'am, these articles of impeachment, kakaiba sa ibang resolution. It needs no majority votes ng mga miyembro. Ma'am, paano kung magko-sponsor o magko-author dun sa resolution na yan, ay more than 106 na, hindi ba tantamount sa approve na ito?
Well, actually, under the Constitution, ang requirement po is at least 1/3. We are 318. So, a vote of 106 House members is already enough to solicit the approval of the committee report, the resolution, as well as the articles of impeachment. Yun po yun. 106 vote is enough to solicit the approval of these documents and to warrant the
Dapat isulat ninyo ha. Kung sino yung mga pumirma, ha? Isulat ninyo. Kasi tatandaan yan ng taong bayan.
transmittal of the articles of impeachment to the Senate.
Sabam, anong botohan dito ang gagawin? Sigawan, viva voce, o ipapaliwanag ng bawat isang kanilang mga magiging boto?
This will be nominal voting, which means that the House members will be called one after the other. They will be casting their vote by saying yes or no. But as to the opportunity to explain, perhaps we will leave it to the Rules Committee, whether the same will be provided to the members of the House.
Ma'am, from your vantage point, is there a need to secure more votes other than what is required in the Constitution?
From my perspective, yes. Because in the Justice Committee, it's 53-0 sa probable cause, 55-0 pagdating sa approval ng committee report. So, I believe that the House of Representatives should be able to show as well the unanimity of their position, the same way that the Justice Committee was able to show the same.
What if, ma'am, you fail to, the leadership fails to secure the same number of votes garnered when the impeachment of the Vice President was first discussed at the plenary last year? Ang ibig bang sabihin nito, ma'am, that the support in the House has weakened?
Well, it only means that the members are having a lot of things which they are considering, no? Kasi if you will remember, the grounds are almost the same. The grounds in the first impeachment back to the 19th Congress and the grounds under the current impeachment, now that we are under the 20th.
If it's almost the same, yun pa rin yun ang gagawin ng Supreme Court. Mababasura pa rin ito sa Korte Suprema.
Congress, they're almost the same, no? So if some members are changing their position on this impeachment, it only means that there are factors which are present now, not present before, which probably affect their position today.
Ma'am, follow-up na lang. Last year, hindi namin narinig yung mga salitang will vote based on their conscience. But it's now na medyo frequently naririnig na.
Kasi kinu-close door nila yun eh. Ano lang yun? Na-shock na lang sila. Kung hindi sila pipirma, wala silang budget sa kanilang distrito. Ilan napipilitan silang pumirma at that time? 2025.
Ano yung motivasyon? Bakit all of a sudden may mga ganitong kolatilya? Samantalang nung nakaraang taon, ma'am, nag-uunahan pa yung mga kasamahan ninyo sa pagpirma.
Perhaps it has something to do with other factors to consider in deciding on this impeachment, no? Ito, I discussed this already in the other interviews. One, of course, is how a member of the House appreciate the evidence. Second is the fact that the members of the House are all political personalities, which means that they are considering as well their political interest. Third, the fact that the national election is already approaching.
Hindi ko lang alam kung anong mangyayari nito sa 2028, kung saan ito mainidoro ito. Oh, mananalo pa kaya ito?
So, I think these are reasonable considerations for the House members. If ever those who voted in favor of impeachment during the 19th Congress will be changing their mind under the current impeachment.
Magbibigyan ba ng opportunity yung mga congressmen na Dutertes to explain why they don't agree with the impeachment case?
Well, there will be debate after the sponsorship speech, and I think everybody will be given the opportunity to participate in the debate, no? I'm quite sure about that.
Oh, pero sasabihin mo na naman kay Paulo Marcoleta, you're not a member.
The interpellation. But with respect to the explanation of vote, siguro i-consider din ng rules kung ilan ang House members who are interested to explain their vote. This is actually a privilege which is given to the House members, but of course, kino-consider din ilan ba ang gustong mag-explain ng kanilang position about the impeachment. Perhaps if they wish to participate, it's better to participate in the interpellations so that the Filipino people will hear their arguments, which the Justice Committee will definitely respond.
Parang sila, no? Parang desperado na talaga sila dito sa mangyayari sa Lunes. Kasi excited silang ma-impeach si Pipi Sara eh. That's the only way na makaiwas itong mga crocs na ito sa mga kabalastugan nila.
Si Congressman Puno, nagsabi ka makailan na may mga pressure. Kaya sa kanyang estimate, 150 to 180 lamang ang maaaring pumirma para sa impeachment. Binanggit niya yung seeming popularity sa Mindanao ni Vice President Sara Duterte at sa mga non-Mindanaoan, may binanggit siyang 3 letra. May pressure daw mula sa INC. Tanong ko po sa inyo, naramdaman po ba niyo yung pressure na yun?
Well, of course, on that concern, I can speak only for myself, no? Wala po akong naramdamang pressure, neither from the leadership nor from the INC. Since day one of our proceeding in the Justice Committee, maliwanag po ang appreciation natin dito. This is not a matter of choice. This is a matter of duty. Whether I like it or not, I need to proceed because this is the mandate of the Constitution.
Sige, i-impeach nyo na. Pero ang tanong dyan, ma-impeach ba yan sa Senado?
Sa mga kasamahan yung mambabatas, narinig niyo po ba na tumutugma yung kwento dun sa mga nabanggit ni Congressman Puno?
Well, I do hear that from my colleagues. Discussions about the INC, discussions about the approaching national election, discussions about the position of the party leadership. But nonetheless, in my humble submission, I think ultimately it will be the conscience of the members of the House,
Oh,
which will
kasi kayo, wala kayong konsensya. Kayong House Committee on Justice.
prevail at the actual voting, no? After you have considered the evidence, after you have considered the party position, I think at the end of the day, ang dapat isipin, or sana ang isipin, will be for the best interest of the Philippine nation.
Ma'am, ang naririnig natin, ang binabanggit na ehemplo, nung nakaraang eleksyon, may dalawang congressist sa Maynila na muntik na pinatikim na ng dalawang pressure na ito. Congressman Chua at saka si Congressman Benny Abante. Yun ho ba sa palagay nyo epektibong pressure o surmountable pressure para dun sa mga gustong pumirma sa impeachment?
Perhaps it depends on the House member, no? If you are affected or perhaps threatened by maneuvering like what you witnessed to what happened to Congressman Joel Chua and Congressman Benny Abante, perhaps the House member will be affected, no? But if the appreciation about the constitutional duty is heavier, then the House member will be maintaining to consider what is best for the country and the Filipino people.
Ma'am, yan ho bang dalawang pressure na yan, o pressures, ang pinag-ugatan kung bakit yung tanong ng kasama nating si Tenten, naririnig na ngayon yung salitang conscience vote?
Well, I cannot speak for the House members, no? But ever since in the 19th Congress, I think that is a very reasonable thing to consider. Na you do not just consider the evidence, you do not just consider the party position, you must consider also what is being dictated by your conscience. And by conscience, it means what is morally right, what is best for the Filipino people.
Sa tingin mo, morally right ba kayo? Prangkahan tayo ha. Ang morally right para sa inyo, no? Kung kontra ninyo sa politika, kung kontra sa administrasyon, yun ang morally right para sa inyo. Hindi nyo na inalam kung may kasalanan ba talaga o wala.
What is best for the welfare of our country.
Ma'am, of course, sabi nga nila, yung politics ngayon almost exact science na. Namamap na kung sinong boboto kay ganon, kung saang geographic location, malakas ang ganito, ganong grupo. Ma'am, yung ba'y napag-usapan man lang ninyo ng mga kapartido ninyo, kagrupo ninyo mga kongresista, para ma-estimate ninyo kung ilan ang matitira sa mga bumoto at ilan ang madadagdag sa pwedeng mga bumoto?
Are you talking about the voting in the plenary?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, hindi. Sapagkat ang focus po natin is only on the proceeding. As a matter of fact, I will be standing in the plenary, I think this coming Monday. But
Mag-standing ka doon kasi maraming media ang nakatutok, di ba? Media mileage na yon. Pero hindi mo lang alam na maraming galit sa'yo. Tututukan ng taong bayan kung sino yung mga kontrabida ni BP Sara at hindi yan iboboto sa 2028. Yan ang hindi ninyo na-realize. Good luck na lang sa inyo.
I never preempted as to who will be voting in favor of the impeachment and who will not be voting in favor of the impeachment. In other words, my focus only is to defend the findings of probable cause of the Justice Committee. As to who will be voting to affirm the same, we're leaving that up to the exclusive judgment of the members of the House of
Some of you are
Representatives.
giving the reason, but you are not campaigning.
No, I'm not campaigning.
Sino magpe-preside sa session sa Monday.
Let me just
Speaker.
clarify that. I'm not campaigning in the sense that I don't reach out to House members. I don't call them. I don't talk to them. But of course, the purpose of standing in the plenary this coming Monday is to defend the findings of the committee and to solicit the affirmation of the rest of the House members that the findings is correct, that the appreciation is correct, that this must be transmitted to the Senate for trial. But other than that, I do not resort to other means to be able to communicate to the House members. As a matter of fact, when I stand in the plenary this coming Monday, that will be the first time that I will be discussing it publicly to all the members of the House of Representatives.
But will the plenary allow yung dissenting votes? Halimbawa, from members of the Duterte family na nasa Congress or yung mga young congressmen na tumitira sa
Well, since this is a political exercise, of course we anticipate that there will be members of the House who are against the findings of the Justice Committee. So they will be making manifestations, they will be raising questions perhaps on constitutionality and the manner of appreciation of evidence. We anticipate all this. And I think that's part of due process, so that there will be thorough deliberation before the voting on the approval of the committee report.
Ma'am, gaano magiging lenient at maunawain yung liderato ng Kamara sakaling yung target natin na numero ay hindi ma-achieve? Magre-resulta ba ito dun sa posibleng rigudon sa membership at leadership ng mga major committees? Even speakership for that matter.
I cannot speak for the leadership, no? Pero gaano ba ka-lenient ang leadership? Well, I think everybody understands naman that this is a political exercise. There are a lot of national parties in the House. So, tingin ko naman even the leadership is anticipating that there will be some members of the House, we do not know the number, who will not be supportive of the Justice Committee. As to whether this will result to the reorganization of the leadership, perhaps let's wait and see kung anong mangyayari.
Yung konteksto sa tanong ko na ito, ma'am, ay dahil alam naman natin na yung mayorya ngayon sa Kamara ay binubuo ng coalition of political parties. Nakikita po ba natin na pagkatapos nitong historic na botohan na ito sa Lunes, nakikita ba natin yung pagtalon ng mga ibang dating kabilang dun sa majority coalition papunta dun sa opposition?
I am very much conservative in my approach in this political exercise, and it has never been my practice really to preempt things from even before they happen, no? So, I really cannot comment if ever there will be House members who will be transferring from one party to another after the result of voting on this articles of impeachment.
Naalala ko tuloy yung dahil kay speaker may AX, dahil kay speaker may ayuda. Grabe ito mga politicians ito.
Impeachment.
Sige ma'am, medyo i-rephrase ko lang ng konti yung tanong. Baka makakuha kami ng sagot. Ma'am, alam naman natin na nakakati ang House generally sa minority at majority. Pag bumoto ka sa speaker, yung nanalong speaker, you are...
Important concerns which are being voted upon in the plenary. This is just one constitutional process where the decision, the positions of the House members will be solicited. Ako, from my end, I don't think that this will immediately result to transferring to the minority.
Ma'am, kayo po yung lawyer, so magaling po kayo sa semantics. Sabi nyo, this is just the one. Hindi ho ba, this is the one?
Yeah, I understand and I recognize that this is a very important political process, no? But there are other policies, issues which are being voted upon, which are equally important to this political process as well, no? So, tingin ko naman, hindi naman ito lang yung magiging consideration ng leadership in deciding with respect to the perceived reorganization, should I say, after this political exercise.
Ma'am, since you will defend the articles of impeachment, tama ba na ang kasunod kong inference, kayo magiging lead ng prosecution team?
That's another matter which I cannot preempt, no? Well, of course, I acknowledge na back in 19 Congress, tayo po ay bahagi ng prosecution panel. But this is a different situation already. We do not know whether we will be elected. And let me make it clear to the viewing public, ang pagiging taga-usig po, being one of the prosecutors, we do not volunteer. We will be elected by the plenary. So first and foremost, I don't know if we will be elected to join the prosecution panel, no? And as to whether we will be considered to lead, I cannot preempt that as well.
Pero meron ng names na nagka-crop up sa prosecution panel?
Since I presided the Justice Committee, I took the initiative of volunteering names of justice members who have correct appreciation of the case. Mahalaga po na ang tatayong taga-usig or prosecutors ay lubos na nauunawaan ang kaso. And
Tsaka dapat lawyers.
well, under the rules, wala po tayong ganyang requirement. If we examine the rules of impeachment, even the rules of the Senate, they do not require that the prosecutor should be members of the bar. No, wala pong ganyang requirement.
Even the judges.
Yes, and we've seen that in the past impeachment processes, no? Kaya lang, since alam po natin that ang pupuntahan nito ay trial, I think it is a reasonable position to say na between a lawyer and a non-lawyer, lawyers have better appreciation of these impeachment complaints.
Mama,
Okay, so yan po ha. Sa tingin ko naman ay tututukan ito ng taong bayan this coming Monday, no? Ito lang yung aking opinion dyan. Kung ano man ang kapalaran ni BP Sara dito sa botohan ngayong Lunes, kung marami pong members ang pipirma para ma-impeach si BP Sara, yun talagang kapalaran niya. Pero kung hindi aabot ng 1/3 ang pipirma dito sa impeachment na ito, meaning to say, kapalaran ni BP Sara na hindi siya ma-impeach. Okay? Pero alam ko naman, hindi naman titigil itong mga kalaban ni BP Sara. Naalala ko tuloy yung sinabi ni Attorney Panelo, Salvador Panelo, na no one can stop the force. No other forces can stop VP Sara to become the president on 2028 because ayon kay Salvador Panelo, no, si VP Sara is destined to be the president of the Philippines this coming 2028. Naniniwala si Panelo. So, ipagdasal na lang natin. Everything happens for a reason. No? May plano ang Panginoon. bakit mai-impeach si BP Sara? May plano ang Panginoon bakit hindi mai-impeach si BP Sara? Depende na yan. At yan po ang ating hihintayin kung ano ang future ng ating bansa. Kasi nakasalalay po ang future ng ating bansa dito. Okay? O, ewan ko na lang, ang dami pang dadaanan yan eh. Supreme Court, tapos dadaan pa yan sa Senado. Kahit celebrate sila dahil makukuha nila yung 1/3 votes, at the end of the day, useless pa rin yan. Pagdating sa Senado, matatalo pa rin sila. 'Di ba? Oh, ganun lang yun. So, ayan. Kayo mga audience ko dito sa Donmar TV, libre kayong mag-comment, mag-react. Anong masasabi nyo dito? Tanggap ba ng taong bayan na ma-impeach si BP Sara o hindi ba tanggap? Babasahin natin yan sa comment section ha. Paki-like at saka paki-share rin para kakalat ito sa taong bayan at marami po ang makaalam na ganito na po ang nangyayari ngayon sa ating bansa. At sa mga first time dito na hindi pa nakasubscribe sa akin, subscribe na po kayo kasi libre lang po ang mag-subscribe. Walang bayad yan. Updated pa kayo sa ating mga trending na mga balita. Okay? See you in my next video. Have a great day. Have a great night. God bless po sa ating lahat. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas and God save the Philippines. Bye-bye.